Okay, check. Oh my goodness.
Now my setup's
There you go.
wrong.
Now you guys should be able to hear me. Hold on. So that whole time you probably couldn't hear me because Javier forgot to turn the microphone up,
All his fault.
or maybe it was me. It's on video.
Not my-
You can see me reaching over.
It's a Miranda problem.
Not my equipment, not my problem.
There you
okay?
go. There you go.
So okay, so for those of you who didn't hear it when I had the volume down,
Wow. Crazy.
we are still not started because we're still trying to figure out what we're doing. We are broadcasting live from the U.S. studios in Palm Harbor, Florida.
As opposed to our Canadian.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna, what's that?
As opposed to our Canadian studio.
Yeah, exactly. So we are live. We're broadcasting on Twitch. We're broadcasting on Facebook. That's right. I'm
Wow.
looking at it.
It even
Are
says
you
it.
quizzing me?
It says it at the top of your screen.
No, that's clearly the logo for Twitter.
And we're broadcasting on YouTube.
YouTube.
Hey.
Hey, at least you got that one.
Hold on. Let me
2
go.
out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3, that's passing.
As a good band.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. You know who that is? Obviously, you know who that is.
Nope.
No.
How do you not know who that is?
Nope. I probably do. I just can't remember right
You
now.
hurt my feelings.
It's a Sunday, man. I'm not supposed to think.
It's
It's a day of rest.
meatloaf.
That is meatloaf.
Cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Okay,
The delectable dish and also the delectable man.
exactly.
Delectable, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go tell people that we're live.
How many times are we going to say this?
I don't know yet. Hey, I'm still trying to figure it out. We're live
We're
On-
working.
We're live somewhere.
Twitch.
Throw in a few more workings in them.
This guy's been playing too much Patenkum. He doesn't know how to do anything else.
This man doesn't even have enough brain cells to play Guilty Gear. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, neither do I here.
For
Same
That's why I
Pontification.
play Eddie.
We haven't even started the clock yet because
See, the thing about
we haven't
Guilty Gear
started.
is that, like,
Actually, I think
you still
Facebook
have to
has a
have
time
some
limit.
kind of brain function because you can, like, take advantage of a lot of his stuff. So you gotta be careful with it. Like, of course, at low levels, you can just like throw that out and people are gonna run into it. But like, the higher you get, like,
Yeah, of course.
.tv. Oh
Look at that
yeah!
Look at that hyperlink.
Look at
Look
that!
At that.
That's what I'm talking about. We are now live there too. We're just live everywhere because this is how we roll. This is how we do it. Now this is supposed to tell me whether you are writing us from YouTube, from Twitch, or from Facebook. See, I remember now. You like that? Okay, so I have no idea. Okay, for those of you, you see you clapping over here. All right, we're almost ready to start. Facebook says we've been on for 7 minutes, but we're not ready yet. We're almost ready.
I was just testing the chat thing. You're right. It's instantaneous.
Oh, look at that! So it says now you should write me from Facebook.
Hmm.
See?
I don't have a Facebook though.
Hmm?
I don't have a Facebook though.
Yeah, you do.
I don't use it though.
He says I don't use it.
That app is not
Let's
installed
see
on my
here.
phone.
Testing. Check. I put testing.
Testing.
Okay, so that one's a little slower. So the Twitch is right away. Oh no. Well, I'm seeing things.
How many things? How many things can you see?
Yo, I gotta have your saying yo.
nada.
Why is that not on there? All right, let me go. See, this is why we're doing this. This is why we do it.
All right now.
This is why we do it. This is why we do it.
Pontification Station wasn't taken on YouTube.
Nope.
Heck yeah.
We are the pontificators of this station.
I don't do too much of it, to be honest.
What? Pontificating?
Yeah.
Alright, well, what's Javier, you ready for this thing?
I'm always ready.
Do you need to move in so that the microphone can pick you up nicely? Let's do an intro song. Hold on. Do you want an instrument?
That's not a good idea.
Javier, can you pass me the shaker? It's right behind the big TV.
Of course it is.
Right there.
Man, I'm looking forward to being obnoxious with this.
Yeah, it's like a trombone, but not. All right, we ready? Okay. What are you playing?
I don't know.
You gotta give us an intro song. All right, play something. Play something for real. You got something.
Okay.
Wait, pass me. Where is it?
You pointed at so many things.
I know, cause we got. Sorry, we got cables everywhere.
There should be a. I'll get it.
Yeah.
Hold.
I should hold your guitar.
Scoot forward.
Watch this. Watch this, everybody. I can do
No,
this.
that works.
Now through the fire and flames.
Now you may sit.
Now
Let me
you may
sit now?
sit. You may sit.
Sit.
Sit here on this
Seat. Yes, sir. Okay. See, so what happened was...
so the second one from the last
So,
I think
channel number 2.
channel number 2, on the little mixing board.
Yeah.
Under
The mixing board. That's not a mixing
Under
board.
the laptop. Under.
Oh my
under,
goodness. It's right in the...
under
There's the mixing board.
It's so dark down here.
It's so dark down here.
Turn
It's the
channel
story of our
number
life.
2 all
It's
the way
so
down.
dark here.
There's
Channel
a
number 2 is all
billion-
the way down.
You said channel 2?
Yeah, channel 2.
Okay.
Okay. Now
Okay.
you want to turn it up,
How far do you want it up?
Yes.
like right there.
Like
So solid 60%?
No, a little less.
little solid, like 40.
40%.
Yeah.
Just pointing the wrong direction.
Hit it,
I was
Javier.
pointing in your direction.
No,
Let's see.
no,
Now
you
it
went
should
like
play.
Yes,
I was
because
reading from your perspective.
from the little.
I always look at your perspective. Never to my own.
Sounds like you have issues.
Just a couple.
See, because no one can turn
Only the ones that
volume
my
down.
therapist knows.
Okay, now you.
You.
Oh, sorry.
Do you have?
I went to
Oh.
Juilliard for 20 years with this instrument.
You know what that is?
Don't quiz me on music today.
Come on, you got this.
I know the hook.
Our rainbows.
No, the
If you're
rainbow.
trying to seduce me,
No, that would be the day song.
Oh.
Here, this is the way it goes. You ready? 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 Here we go.
No.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
I would pay, Lord, it's too dry. Every night, sit here with the rain. When I was outside, no, I wouldn't run, I wouldn't hide. I just look up to the sky and I'd say, that's okay. 'Cause today, I wanna play in the rain. It's alright, I don't mind. I give you the perfect like train along the track, and you don't even give me.
Oh wait. All right.
What is the whistle? You have the whistle.
Oh, that's a different thing. Sorry. Sorry.
I think I died on the way here. This is my purgatory.
Poor Steven has no idea what he walked into. All right, so let's get this party started.
You can't play that here. It's forbidden.
On the count of almost. What was that? She's a maniac.
That's complete opposite spectrum.
Okay. Oh wow, that was beautiful right there. That's
That's how the song goes.
okay. You ready? I'm pushing buttons and oh wait, I left my phone.
You and your phone. You dang millennials and your phones.
Buddy.
Hold on. I know how to fix this. Huh?
I need to get in the drums so I can just beat things all the time.
I teach you, but I have to charge.
You always charge. You charge me to come here.
My drums bring all the boys in the park. Sorry.
I'm just glad my left went through that.
Oh, okay. Look at it. So they look different.
Just a little bit.
We're learning things.
I don't think we started streaming less than a minute ago.
Wait, what's this? I don't think this is updated. Alright, so. Hey, we got
should
buttons.
have given this to me. I'm gonna put that down before I call it anything else.
Yes. So. Oh! What is happening, Senor Perkins? It is good to see you. I do not understand why Facebook is not talking to us over here, but I can see you on Facebook.
Heck yeah.
Well, this app is supposed to show all the different chats, including the Facebook chat. But that's okay. We got you. We can see you. Senor Perkins, we are very grateful that you are here. Welcome to Pontification Station.
Grateful.
What was that?
Is it that? It's that.
Have you ever seen the Aristocats?
Of course. I mean, but like 20 years ago.
It's like the Basset Hound.
Oh, yeah.
Where's my Betty Bye basket? That's such a fun movie.
And with that, we're almost ready to start.
I thought we started like.
No, we haven't started yet.
Everybody wants to be a cat on the ukulele, but I lost it.
Everybody wants to be a cat.
I think that's the wrong one. But hey, I'll take it. All right. All right. Let's get the party rolling. On the count of now in 3, 2, 1. Intro song, Javier.
Oh, this is the song that never ends, except for when we have to start. Some people have started singing, not knowing what it was, and now we have an intro song, and it never ends just because it is a song that never ends. And I keep changing the tempo.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started for Pontification Station.
Masterpiece.
I'm so sorry for everybody who actually listened to these from the start.
For those of you who listen to these from the start, for those of you watching us on video, it is a podcast called Pontification Station. You can find it on pretty much any kind of streaming. It's on the Spotify, it's on the Apple, it's on the Google.
But have we made it to SoundCloud?
I don't know if we're on SoundCloud. We are definitely on the Spotify and all the others. No, I think we have to upload it onto the SoundCloud. We have not done that, sir.
Gross.
So we need to do that. All right, so you can find us everywhere else. Usually we do this on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. But today we are doing a special edition. That's right, special edition of Game Awards. And and by the way, for those of you who did hear that intro, we're still waiting for somebody to send us an intro song. You send us a good intro song,
and you won't have to hear me butcher any other songs.
Exactly, that's what we're talking about.
As
Until then, we're just going to make them up.
As you can tell, we're not capable of doing it ourselves.
Well,
right.
I mean, we probably could, but that require more work.
The thing is,
which we're not willing to put in.
If you guys don't want to put the work into writing us an intro song, you could pay the $200 for a yearly subscription to Pro Tools, and then we could write it ourselves.
That is true. Facts.
So
he speaks the truth.
It all goes to benefit the children.
It's like Moulin Rouge. It's the sitar player that cannot lie, isn't it? Something like that.
Speaking of which, before we get into this,
before we digress any further, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Moulin Rouge is like in a two-way tie for my favorite movie of all time, and I have to say that my favorite part in that movie is where they're reading the script and the Duke is getting like, he doesn't like the way the play's being told, and he like gets really mad at one point, and the writer is just, he's so fed up, and he just yells, "It's because she doesn't love you." And I think just the silence that follows that very moment is my favorite part in the whole movie.
Yeah, silence can be used really well, and sometimes it can be used extremely poorly.
Don't look at me.
Like that. That was a bad example of silence. That's called dead space, and that's not good.
It can be used like to
but they
build
used it the right way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and speaking of anticipation, that's the perfect segue to talk about the Game Awards.
Wow, you are a natural.
Segue king.
That was
king.
Amazing.
Thank you. And our first bit, I think we should start with the most anticipated.
No. I'm gonna start.
I should have worn my soul sword.
I am going to do the whole Sound of Music and start at the very beginning. A very good place to start.
Okay.
Huh?
Sting.
Oh.
The opening was Sting.
Was that the opening?
Singing? Yes, that was the very first thing that happened.
Oh, because that was after the pre-show. Yeah.
Yeah, because they did pre-show, and then all of a sudden Sting comes out and does his thing.
I love Sting.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good. I was
talented, man.
That was really cool.
The Police is a band that gets like
lost.
Whenever people talk about it, they're like, "Oh yeah, I like the Police," but it gets swept under the rug so often.
They are good. And for those of you who don't know, Sting and Shaggy put an album together.
They did.
That was actually very good as well.
No one can understand either one of them. It's perfect.
Well, I actually like the album because neither one of them is trying to do the other thing.
Right.
Sting's actually singing and Shaggy's just rapping. Shaggy's not trying to sing at any moment in time.
They know
so
their
it's
elements,
okay. Yeah. They're doing a good job. So anyway, with that, we jump back to where we're supposed to be, which is having this conversation about the Game Awards. And we started with Sting and the opener. Okay. Great song.
You haven't finished it, have you? You haven't finished Arcane.
I have not finished Arcane.
Oh, that's such a
but
good
we can't
show.
We can't give spoilers right now because a lot of people are still watching it though.
I don't League of Legends.
But you do need to watch it if you haven't seen it yet. I think I'm on episode 4, which is the part where they all die.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
See, as someone who's not a League of Legends fan myself, like it's really good.
Yeah, I am not a League of Legends person at all. I'm sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings. It's just not my jam. However, Arcane, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I would venture to say...
Venture.
Okay.
So, Dead Space again?
You were going to venture to say, so I was giving you permission to venture.
I'd venture to say that it is one of the best, like, pieces of video game media, like, adapted to other like forms.
That's good.
I would
it's
say.
good.
What else is there?
Halo Legends.
Halo Legends. What was that again?
It was I think it's 7-piece, 8-piece, like.
Oh yeah,
movie,
that.
like 8 different like short stories, each with a different animation style.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But like still, I would venture to say
Take that.
I would say it's one of the best.
One of the gooder ones.
And again, that just means that it's like up there top 5.
No, and I would like to see more. Sorry, that looked like the thing that we saw at freaking Utah.
Squirrel.
Yeah, for real. My ADHD's been peaking lately. But anyway,
It might be the monster.
Usually
yeah,
on
actually,
Tuesdays,
it might be. This is number 2.
Steven's at his place talking to us through Discord, and
I'm out of my element.
he doesn't see all the things that are calling his attention at
Which
this moment in time.
in his defense, we do have a lot of things.
We do have a lot of odd little things just sitting around.
My point being, though, it's great to see, no matter what, games branch into different mediums, such as miniseries, even movies, books.
Because we've seen it the other way, where books, movies have been turned into video games, but not really vice versa.
Well, I mean, vice versa a lot, whether it be books or movies. It's just typically there's not good because of UE ball.
Yeah.
Or UV ball. How do you want to pronounce it? Yeah, pretty much every live action video game movie is made by that guy.
Right.
They're all disasters.
Speaking of which, one of the worst things I've ever seen, Monster Hunter the movie.
I haven't seen it for obvious reasons.
And
I'm a huge fan of Monster Hunter.
I was like, ooh, this is gonna be terrible, but at least it's gonna be fun. And it was
Neither. Because like a movie can be bad as long as it's fun. You know, like that's my thing.
That's
like,
me.
Yeah.
Listen,
if
I
as long as
started,
it's fun, I don't care if it's bad, like bad writing, bad direction, whatever. If it's
I am
fun movie,
the most forgiving person when it comes to watching movies. I watch some really bad movies, but I just watch them to be entertained.
Right.
I think way back in the days there was a critic in Tampa that I really liked because the way he would rate the movies was with watches. And the more watches a movie had, the worse it was. Because the whole point was how many times did he look at his watch while he was watching the movie. So it's like if he had 3 watches, it's like, he looked at his watch like 3 times during the movie. This is not entertaining, you know?
Right.
So that would be me. As long as I'm being entertained, I am very forgiving. But yeah, there are certain things that are just
it's
bad.
just another
like
movie.
Cowboy Bebop. Horrendous.
I don't want to talk about it.
It's so bad. And I really like Cowboy Bebop, but the Cowboy Bebop live...
It's my favorite anime, and I watched a couple clips, and I'm like, this is
I watched the first 5 minutes.
I haven't watched it, but I've seen... So, it's so weird, because Seinfeld is probably my favorite sitcom ever. Next to Always Sunny. Cowboy Bebop is my favorite anime written of all time. They're basically the same... They just put the two together. It's Cowboy Seinfeld. You think that'd be the best thing ever? No, it's not actually at all. So
They did not do a good job with the live action, and I was disappointed because after watching Kenshin, the Kenshin Himura live actions that they did at Netflix,
that's as best as it gets
were
for live action.
Excellent. They were so good.
Absolutely.
That after that, I was like, well, there's hope.
Yeah.
And then they did Cowboy Bebop, and I was wrong.
No, the problem with Cowboy Bebop is that they changed the characters, but not changed the situations. They didn't. It should have been the opposite. Change the circumstances and then keep the characters.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can my favorite example is the scene between Spike and Jet. The conversation that they're having about bidets. It's like as if they swapped characters. Spike is acting like Jet, and Jet's acting like Spike. Jet is an incredibly intelligent character, and he's acting like an idiot.
Yeah,
that makes no sense. Of all people who would know what a bidet is, it would be Jet.
And for those of you who have not seen Cowboy Bebop and you're somewhat interested, I would say
stop what you're doing and watch it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's so much. It's like Firefly, James Bond.
The fact that it doesn't
with Hanna-Barbera music, I don't know.
Hanna-Barbera music.
Have you not heard it?
Imagine
if you imagine the Wacky Racers. Listen to the Wacky Racers soundtrack. It's got a lot of that, like James Bond, Wacky Racers, sound.
It's a lot of jazz.
Yeah, it's a lot of jazz.
Oh, I mean, bebop.
Yeah.
It's bebop jazz. Yeah.
I love Bebop.
Well, the reason why Cowboy Bebop just works so well is that it's so bite-sized. Like, you can watch it in, like, a weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
And get the entire content, and it's bite-sized, it's condensed.
And if you forget and you come back to it later, you don't have to worry about, like,
and the reason,
where did I leave off?
Because
you know?
they don't focus on the story, they just focus on the themes.
Yeah.
They focus on the
Yeah.
message. The fact
So-
that it's Bounty of the Week with a little bit of story hit here
Correct.
and there.
Yeah.
How was that? That's what I'm talking.
There we go.
So to
Beautiful.
To break it down, it is a space western with a lot of like Eastern samurai movie elements, if I'm not mistaken.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically like your gist of it.
Which is really good considering because we've gone 11 minutes and now we're finally going to get to point 2.
No.
This is
Even
why
harder.
this is called Pontification Station. Sometimes we pontificate and other times we just punt.
One last thing before we go to 2, just to wrap it back to the original, the Sting opening.
So
Bouncing.
good.
Arcane has to be one of the best. Like it has to have one of the best show soundtracks
Oh, yeah.
that I've seen. Period. Like it's the music throughout it is amazing.
Should we go back to Cowboy Bebop or?
Well, they're both good.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Full circle.
See, this is why I say one of the best.
So let's jump right into this. Speaking of audio,
What'd you look at?
best audio design.
Oh yeah, let me grab my phone.
Forza Horizon 5.
So I haven't played enough Forza Horizon 5 to know if it had great audio design. And by audio design, I'm assuming, or rather, I'm hoping they're talking about everything sound-wise. The
Yeah,
cars.
so here's the really interesting thing I find about Forza. I don't know how much of this they're doing nowadays. I would think they're still doing some of this. But back in the days, they would actually record the actual different engines and the different sounds from the different cars.
I'm pretty sure they had to go off that point. I'm pretty sure they had a video, like maybe 2 E3s ago or something when Forza 4 was coming out. They had a video of them actually recording, like I think it was the new Ford GT at the time.
So my dad is he's
Because they announced that too at with Forza.
Yeah, my dad's a big car head. I mean, he loves cars, and it was really interesting because when Forza 4, speaking of Forza 4, when it came out, not the Horizon, but just Forza 4, when it came out, he came over to our house, and I put the game on, had him close his eyes, and I would drive a car around a track, and he would tell me what car it was. And literally he could tell whether it was, a Ford Mustang, a Ferrari, and sometimes to the point where my dad could actually tell me what year the car was. Like, oh, that's one of the older Ferraris. That's probably in the 60s. I'm like, what in the world? How do you do this?
I'm more impressed with your dad than the game.
I know. I am
Yeah.
too. I am too. The fact that he could do that is ridiculous.
But it speaks to the sound design that the Forza Motorsport series has really held to.
Yeah, and
for the longest
they
time.
did an amazing job with that. So I have no issues with that. I thought it was weird because I'm just gonna jump to another award, only because they also won it. But best sports racing game.
Again, haven't played enough, so I can't say.
Well, so here's my strange take on this.
Let me go and see what the runner-ups were.
There's where my issue is. I think it's so weird that for best sports / racing game, they beat FIFA. The fact that they beat FIFA for sports / racing is crazy to me.
I don't know, because wasn't FIFA under some hot fire because of some scummy EA reasons?
I'm sure that people above, has something to do with it, but as a game, as the game stands on its own,
This wasn't really used for sports
it's
games.
weird for me to see. And listen, I'm a Forza fan, so it's
Right.
weird for Forza to beat FIFA, and it's also kind of, as a hardcore Forza fan, I also have a hard time seeing Forza Horizon as a racing game.
It's an arcade game for me.
Forza Horizon has racing in it,
Right.
but to me, is not any more of a racing game than.
Cruising USA.
No, I would venture to say more like Crackdown. Like Crackdown had races in it, where you could get in your vehicle and race with it. It didn't make it a race game. You know what I'm saying?
I zoned out which.
My dumb goblin brain, I
Okay.
thought you said racist. Like, yeah, it technically does have racism.
No. Like racing game. Like so in Forza Horizon, to me, it's more about getting in your vehicle and driving around all over. You know, in this case, I think it's all over New Mexico, where you're driving everywhere.
New Mexico, one.
Yeah. So it's all about the
Southwest
driving
Desert.
around from one place to another. You go find barn cars. You go do this. You're on all these different missions, which is a cool game,
Right.
but it's not a racing
again,
game
it's
to
more
me.
of an arcade.
Yeah.
Like say Ridge Racer. You know, that's more of an arcadey feel versus something like Gran Turismo or Forza Motorsports.
Forza Motorsports,
which are
is-
the driving simulators.
Correct.
Heavy quotation.
but even then, like, even if it was pole position, you know, that's all racing. Forza Horizon is so much more than racing. Racing is just probably about, I'd argue, it's about less than 40% of the game. Forza Horizon, less than 40% of the game is
only in your
You
car,
do-
is
though.
actual racing.
You do everything through the lens of racing.
Yes, you're a hot
I would
rod
argue
person.
that it's 70-30 racing because
I'll
all of your
take that.
progression is through racing. All of the
You're still-
like,
you're still
aside
aiming
from
to be
the
first place in some sort of
from
in
the
your car.
stunts
Sort of, because
and aside from the
So there's
like,
racing.
pictures.
So there's racing. There's, like you said, stunt stuff, which it's not racing, but it's cool. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like Hot Wheels game is cool, but it's not a racing game.
How dare you?
So the stunt stuff is not racing. The delivering a car is not racing, because you pick up a car, you have to deliver it to the other side of the island. Now I understand you have to get it there within a certain amount of time.
But you're racing the clock, though.
So I guess
If
you're
not
racing
Yeah,
the
it's
racing the
clock.
100%
racing the clock.
Ah, it's so
You're-
weird.
just
to
because
me.
you're not racing against a computer in the
Yeah.
car or another person in the car doesn't
I-
necessarily mean it's not racing.
It's just weird. And
So
then
you're
you
saying
go,
drag racing's all
then you go driving around, you know, the mountains to look for a barn to see if you can find a car.
See, but that's the 30%
yeah,
exploration.
I'll take that. I'll give you.
You gotta have something to break something.
All right, 60-40.
No,
No,
70-30.
70-30.
70-30.
70-30. That is the hill I will die on. I will
It's
perish
still,
right
It's still
here.
just weird, you know. And like I said, I like the game. I just like it's not. As a matter of fact, most of my friends who do racing, they don't consider that really a racing game. But you can race in it. But nonetheless, I still think it's weird that it beat FIFA.
One thing that's actually stuck in my head, and you saying that's the hill I will die on. What is your video game hill that you will die on?
My video game hill that I will die on. They need to make more Mirror's Edge. 2 was such an affront to the first game and what it stood for. So the first game was basically, it gave you so much freedom in how you could move, and the second game, what they did is they made everything easier, and they made it to where you were, like, when you wanted to do big jumps or anything, you were locked. Like, you would initiate the jump, and then you were locked into that. In the original, when you went to do a big jump, you could hit the jump at different angles. You can go wherever you wanted. But in the second game,
It forces you to play the way they want you to play.
absolutely, yeah. And I thought that it was... I didn't even finish the game. I thought it was the grossest thing ever. After playing the first one and loving it as much as I did, they need to make more parkour games, honestly.
The hill that I would like to die on
Why
for
not?
video games, but doesn't exist. If anybody out there can do this, VR, somebody
Yeah.
somebody needs to make a VR game with Quantum Leap. Do you remember Quantum Leap at all? The
of
show?
course yeah.
All right, for those of you who don't remember Quantum Leap,
That would be something Telltale would make.
yeah. For those of you who don't remember Quantum Leap, the cool thing about Quantum Leap was this character
Or
was
Quantum
jumping
Dream.
from one body to another, but in different times. And then once he leaped into somebody, one, he had to figure out who he was. He didn't know whether he was, a guy, a girl. He didn't know whether he was.
Figure out who
Yeah, he didn't know whether he was a boxer or a milkman. Like, he didn't know anything. So first he has to figure out who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, he had to figure out why he was there, which usually was to fix something that had gone wrong.
Right.
That would make such a great VR game
Yeah, be it like
where you just drop in. They could use history upon history upon history. I mean,
I would like that, like from you guys remember Sierra Interactive, like King's Quest, Space Quest, like the classic point-and-click adventure game?
mhm.
Yeah.
That VR Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
So-
Well, with that, like for example, one of the episodes, he drops in as a bodyguard for JFK,
Mm-hmm.
and he's there thinking, "Oh, I'm here. I'm supposed to save JFK."
Turns out he's Oswald.
No, it turns out he was the bodyguard who saved JFK's wife.
Mm.
So had he not been there, she would have been hit by the second shot.
Right.
But because he was there, he saved her life. And I mean, you could use history. You could use there's just tons of DLC that you could use for this and get history involved. I mean, forget Assassin's Creed. This could go like
I just love how much
this
you're
could
dating
go
yourself.
anywhere. It could go forward, could go backwards. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just tons of DLC for this.
I think-
I'd pay for it.
I think one of my favorite episodes, well, not my favorite as in like I liked the episode. I think one of the most memorable episodes for me was when he was the monkey. A chimpanzee.
He was a chimp
Correct.
one time.
He became a chimpanzee.
I think it was the chimp that went to space
And-
first.
The whole episode was him just running around in a diaper, and it was so funny to me.
The dream.
It was so funny.
Yeah. So that would be the one I would like. But anyway, so let's continue here. Other points here. Best ongoing game.
And I'm very happy with who won.
All right, who won?
Final Fantasy 14.
All right, how do you feel about that?
It makes sense. They are consistently, and they also won another award, which we will get. I guess we can segue to that award.
Yeah. Go ahead.
As well. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm not huge on MMO. Like I really love the
It's the only
idea
one
of
I play.
MMOs,
It's the only one.
but
I
it
play.
is the only MMO that I have ever played and enjoyed and been like, yeah, I could sit doing this for hours.
Like there's only really one bad. I mean, of course, everyone's gonna say,
Actually, some of the end game content.
How was that?
But actually, some of the end game content.
making fun of the internet.
I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my mocking voice.
It's a 4chan voice.
Yeah, exactly. That's my 4chan voice. That's my common Redditor voice. But
I'd love a video of just you reading green text like that.
I
Like,
mean, we can make that a thing. But crap, where was I going with that? Stop! No, my ADHD brain. No. Okay, really good. The only problem with the game really is just that initial start. But like after that, the story, the gameplay, the dungeons, and most of all, the community
right,
is some of the best that you'll ever experience on any platform.
But the award was ongoing.
Yes, as in a platform game, a game, and not by platform as in a genre, platform as in here's a game that was created 10 years ago and we're still adding to it. Your World of Warcraft, like MMO is a common example of that, or Destiny 2 now, it's a platform game.
I am not a fan, but I'm surprised it beat Fortnite for a second there.
No, and that's why I'm
Because
also...
Fortnite was...
see, the thing is...
I mean, listen, I am not a Fortnite fan, but Fortnite... Those people know how to advertise. Those people know how to get people back in the game.
But Fortnite will never beat the absolute all-encompassing, what's the word? Fortnite has all of the kids. Fortnite is... to put this in layman's terms, Fortnite is temporary. Final Fantasy as a whole,
It's not going anywhere.
it's not going
No.
anywhere.
For the way I would look at it is, playing Fortnite at this point is just a meme.
Absolutely.
It's more of a meme. Like, you
Absolutely.
playing Fortnite, you're playing it almost ironically. And people that are playing professionally, it's because they're paid to do it now at this point.
Yeah.
Not because it's an actual desire. In my opinion, you can fight me on that. That's fine. But yeah, it beats Fortnite. It beat Apex Legends. I'm sorry. It beat Genshin Impact, which also threw me off because I know that game's also probably it's one of the best gacha games at the moment. And Call of Duty Warzone. Not surprising they've been kind of teetering off because Activision's been focusing on Vanguard. But oh, good.
The problem with Genshin Impact is monotony, actually.
Oh yeah, it's
Which
it's
is
a gacha
really
game.
funny
That's
when
the point of it.
when you put it up next to Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy is all about grinding. You grind to your top level, but there's so much more variety and fulfillment.
Well, and exactly. So that's why Final Fantasy 14 also just stands out from its own competition.
Yeah.
Things like World of Warcraft and now New World. So like just really any major MMO is that. And it's ironic coming from Square Enix because they're also technically a scummy company up there with EA and Activision with how they handle things. But that team, Yoshi P and his boys, they want you to have fun. They're not doing a World of Warcraft thing where they want you to do this monotonous thing to keep you in it. No, they want you to do this monotonous thing so you have fun, because at the end of the day, the payoff is fun, and sometimes the monotonous stuff is fun too, and that's really also really thanks to the community that keeps it fun.
And with the word community, I'm going to transition.
Yes.
Because one of my favorite communities of all time, for those of you who don't know, let me say this slowly. One of my favorite communities of all time is the Guilty Gear community. And Guilty Gear wins
Best fighting game, hands down.
best fighting game. I was so happy about that. Listen, again,
They prove quality over quantity.
it's so hard sometimes, and I know I'm talking about community instead of about the game, but it's so hard to separate the two sometimes, because there are some fighting communities that you just want no part of. They're toxic. They're just awful.
Smash Bros.
The Guilty Gear community, absolutely love them.
Do you have the list of runner-ups there?
No,
For
it didn't
community
even
support?
matter.
Or fighting, I can bring it up.
He can bring it up. But
well,
I was just happy to see Guilty Gear take
Because
that.
I think I remember seeing one of the games, and I was like confused as to why it was on there.
I think I already know what you're looking at. Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba,
Yeah.
the Hinokami.
Which one?
Hinokami.
Which one were the other ones?
Melty Blood,
Multi Blood. Okay.
which
Melty
I understand
Blood-
that not
Melty Blood
winning.
is good.
It's great. It's considered one of the
It
best
made
games.
some massive leaps though since the last one
But
too.
the problem with Melty Blood, it's a very niche.
Oh, extremely.
That is literally
it's
the
niche.
ni-
It's niche in a niche market.
Yeah.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, because Guilty Gear is niche.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But-
So it's niche of the niche. So
Yeah.
super niche. And
Yeah,
then Nickelodeon
it's-
All Stars, which that's more. Of a hey, at least they got rollback
okay.
netcode, baby.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
That
here.
is okay.
And Virtua Fighter 5.
That's a sore subject for Javier. I know, because I saw his tweet the other day.
let me bring it up. Let me quote myself word for word.
I'm gonna quote myself. Okay.
Okay. Nick Brawl might be the first purchase I actually regret. And this is from a guy who gave a dude $10 for a trash EP because I respected the hustle. When I tell you I could rap better than this man, I wish I was joking. And yet Nick Brawl still tops that.
That's funny.
Nick Brawl, I spent $40 on that game.
Well, that's your fault.
It's
You know-
absolutely my
You know
fault.
what you're getting into.
No, because I was
We thought we could run it.
Slap City.
As an
Slap
event.
City is an amazing.
It slaps.
It's an amazing platform fighter.
I hate you.
It is made by somebody. It is made by a group of
It's
people.
made by
who,
somebody.
who
as
love.
hope so.
as
NAI.
opposed to the Nickelodeon game, which is made by nobody.
It is made by a group who loved Melee and incorporated wave dashing and other Melee tech. But the characters all feel good. The moves feel good. The everything's unique. It feels fairly balanced for a indie game, and then they come with Nickelodeon, and it's not to the same level of quality. I was expecting like Slap City level of quality because they had obviously less what's it called, funding
Right.
for their own project, but their own project was leaps and bounds better, and it's cheaper.
I wonder if Nickelodeon, like,
They probably rushed it a lot.
well, not only rushing but also limited them. Like, oh no, you don't do that. I don't want that character being represented like that with that certain move or like that certain. I don't know.
They could have.
Because I'm sure they were incredibly protective of their IPs.
Yeah.
Well, now let me continue the complaining here for a second.
Absolutely not.
No, it's too late now.
Oh,
Best esports event.
that's between you guys. I have no idea.
CEO.
I have one major issue with this.
Did CEO even make it on
No,
here?
no. Evo didn't even make it on here.
What?
Okay, so here's the thing. Let me.
I obviously
did.
missed this one.
I did very, very little research on this. I'll be honest with you, but I didn't feel like I needed to do much research. You ready? Here we go.
What?
Here are some of the options. Wait.
I'm looking at the runner-ups
Alright.
and like that's just
No, wait. So here are the options for best esports event. The International 2021. Dota. It had 18 teams. The 2021 League of Legends World Championship. League of Legends. It had 24 teams. The PGL Major Stockholm 2021. 24 teams for CSGO. All of these are
So-
small events
I get
compared.
I get CS:GO. I get
These-
CS:GO.
Yes, but here's the thing about CS:GO. It's still 24 teams.
See, that doesn't matter. That
But
doesn't
it
matter.
should, because
it's
if we're
the-
talking,
it's viewership and sponsorship.
It's-
but if we're that's
viewership-
it. Because if
viewership-
we're talking about esports an event, then CEO with 5,000 people there should be
See,
on there.
but
They
if-
had 4,000 players.
Best does not
4,000 players.
of biggest. Best
But
does
that's
not
got to play into it to some point. You can't have just
spectacle.
We're also
all.
not disagreeing with you. So keep
No,
that in
I'm
mind.
just saying. I'm just saying you can't just have all these team games with like the biggest
That is-
one having only 24
That
teams.
is one thing I have to say.
Come on.
People focusing on esports in general, I think that it is a terribly one-sided view of what esports is.
Yeah.
Like leaning heavily towards
The
PC,
teams,
like
yeah.
MOBA.
This is all clearly. I mean, like it's 5 of the 30 awards was
Yeah.
esports related, and all of them are mainstream esports. Again, your League of Legends,
Yeah.
your CS:GO, your
Right.
Dota, and that's always
There's like no fighting game representation practically
Mainstream.
at all.
On
Mainstream, yeah, that's what I
mainstream,
mean.
mainstream. And that's what this all is. This is all mainstream.
And they should.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
I mean, ESPN had Evo
Yeah.
on last year.
Speaking of main,
So if
Nope.
ESPN is getting on it, then maybe the Game Awards should get on it too. Anyway, that's just my main complaint. I don't really care which one of them won that because I don't care about those. But I just, even if at least one fighting game event was represented on there, it would have made me happy. And it's like, oh, okay, so we're not being ignored,
Right.
you know?
Mhm.
So, anyway, so that was my complaint. Yes, Javier.
I was gonna say, speaking of, what's the word? I had a specific word, and that word will trigger the whole thought.
Way to go, Angel.
I broke it.
You did break it.
Just like my children.
We were talking
I
about
broke them.
I think I'm out one of your
esports.
kids. Esports.
Um,
Evo. CEO.
We were talking about. Go ahead.
No, I had
Camaraderie.
Lost it.
Community.
It was something with community, but I absolutely lost it.
Best community support being won by Final Fantasy 14 Online.
Oh, that's what it was. Thank you. But no, that's not it. But no, that's a good thing to talk about because absolutely that should have won it.
Oh yeah. Again, back to Yoshi being the boys.
It has one of the best communities. Well, you always have good with the bad.
Look up any chat. look up anything WoW versus Final Fantasy 14.
Oh,
you're
yeah,
gonna,
but it's
get
so
a treasure
much.
trove of like why Final Fantasy 14 is held in such a high regard.
It's so they're so welcoming.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, with the director of the game
Right.
literally cried because they delayed the game or Endwalker
And
for a
let,
couple weeks.
let
Yeah.
me
It was enough to make
backtrack
him
a little
cry in
bit.
a good way.
Let me
Respect for
backtrack
them.
a little bit. For those of you listening to us in the podcast, you can catch us on gote.tv and watch the stream. Usually Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But Biogen is live right now, and he brings up a really good point. He talks about the fact that a lot of these major events that we're talking about, there's only 18 teams there, 24 teams there, but there's a full-on league, just like football
Yeah.
and basketball, that happens in order to get there. Now, here's my issue. This is not best esports league or best esports franchise or best esports, this is supposed to be just an event.
See, but
So
the thing,
I think it's cool again that they have these leagues that lead to this event, and obviously thousands upon thousands were involved by the time they got here. But when they got here, there were only 18 teams, and I think again that we should also consider the fighting game tournaments where there are 5,000-10,000 players there. They should be in this conversation,
again,
which obviously they're not.
I'm not gonna say that the league pro league whatever finals that won shouldn't have won,
Right.
Because like honestly, a
No.
lot of those games and stuff have incredible spectacle.
Oh.
They're incredibly entertaining to watch.
Where were we? We were in where we watched the CS:GO tournament. Where were we?
Oh, we were in
In Atlanta?
DreamHack Atlanta. DreamHack Atlanta.
Holy, dude, the
I
CS:GO
spent
tournament
most of my
was
time-
so good.
I spent most of my time
So
sitting
good.
and watching CS:GO.
It was
At DreamHack.
incredible, and like you said, the performance, the display, the delivery, everything about
The
it
spectacle is just
was
10 out
it
of
was
10.
a spectacle. It was beautiful. It was, and that's why I agree with Javier in that I have no argument about the winners, and I have no argument about these 5 being nominated.
But again,
I would like to see at some
I
point in
doubt
time.
that a lot of FGC events were
No.
just because of their
Well, Biogen brings up the point
lack of
that anybody
sponsorship.
can register too
Yeah.
for those events, but it's still, regardless of whether anybody can register, it's still a massive event,
Yeah, but
so
again,
I would like to see it represented at
again
some
I'm not
point.
even talking about the size. Like Evo's a spectacle.
Right. Well, CEO always puts on a show. I mean, Evo at this point in time, in my opinion, might be the biggest, although we'll see this year. But CEO is the best fighting game tournament out there. Might not be the biggest. I think it's the second biggest at this moment in time, but still the best.
I mean, it goes back to quality over quantity. Kind of
Oh,
thing.
their quality is always
Yeah.
great there. With that, I'm gonna break this up. We're gonna take a break
Don't
for.
break me.
Yes. This is the part of the show where I get to hurt these guys and hurt their feelings. And we've talked about subjective and objective games
can't
today.
That was a terrible.
So
There we go,
For
that's
those of
better.
you who need
Melon.
help with this, objective is I am wearing a hat.
That's
Subjective is this is a beautiful hat. That's very subjective.
I'd say it's pretty
The fact
objective.
that I'm wearing a hat is subjective.
The ribbon ties it all together.
This game that we're playing today is a subjective game. It is Messed Up Feud. And the way it works, and the reason it is called Messed Up Feud, is because the points go backwards. In other words, if you give me the number 1 answer, you get 1 point because it should be the easiest one to find or guess. If you give me the number 10 answer, you get 10 points because that's going to be the hardest one to guess.
I will still never forgive you for this.
Yes, this is a beautiful thing. So,
Each time it gets worse.
I know.
according to 1.3 million votes. You hear that? That's a lot of voting.
It's a lot of people who are wrong.
Yeah, it's about to say this is the worst consensus in history.
The most popular video games right now.
Oh, I'm gonna lose.
Okay, he's gonna lose.
I'm a retro
All right,
gamer.
give me a number from 1 to 5.
1 to 5. 4.
Yeah. Okay, Javier?
3.
3. Very good. Okay.
I don't know if those reverse psychology. You
No.
do it all the time.
No, whenever he gives you a number to throw out,
He's-
if
No,
he has...
that's what I'm saying. I thought he was gonna, for the sake of this, I thought he was gonna flip it.
no, no, I would not flip you on stream.
Damn you and his consistency.
Anyway, so Javier, you get to go first. Most popular video games right now.
Neck 2, baby.
Let's go, Javier. What you got? What you got?
I saw you punch it. Good.
Okay,
Thank you for the donkey
so
reference.
I'm gonna start easy. Fortnite, obviously.
Fortnite is number 3. Javier's got 3 points on the board.
Most
Let's
popular
go.
games, right?
All right, Javier, go.
League of Legends.
Not in the top 10.
Excuse me?
That's right. Not in the top 10.
Okay.
I told you this. This is why this is subjective. All right, let's go. What you got, Steven?
When was this poll created?
Just recently, like
No, but I want specific. Games
uh,
came out
within the last month or so.
within the last month or so.
What you got?
Most popular games right now: Halo Infinite.
No.
Save this one. Talking about.
Terrible
That's
game.
why I hate
All
this
right, all right. What you got, Javier?
Knack 2.
Javier's actually winning. By the way, Javier's been getting destroyed in these games, like 21-3,
I'm sorry.
21-5.
You have home field advantage right now, so you might win this.
Minecraft.
Minecraft is number 1. Javier's got 4 points on the board.
See, Minecraft is still number 1 in this. I don't know if this was created
Alright.
recently, because
Alright.
Minecraft has been kind of falling off other than...
Let's go. What else you got, Javier?
Valorant.
Not on the top 10. What you got? What you got, Steven?
I'm going to be wrong no matter what I say. Just because it's consistent. Final Fantasy 14, baby.
No, baby.
Exactly.
That's what I was gonna say
I know,
first.
yeah.
What you got, Javier?
Because I'm like, that's gotta be like somewhere between 8 and 10.
Yeah, I was
Alright,
like,
alright.
6th.
This is a weird list. I'm.
You
Anyway,
should
go
pick a
ahead.
different list. Is this
This
wait? Is
is-
this BuzzFeed again? I'm
No,
gonna
no,
kill
this
you.
is not BuzzFeed.
Is this Ranker again?
Yes, Ranker.
No, Ranker's the worst.
Janker.
It's the great value of BuzzFeed.
Janker is the stream.
What you got, Javier? What you got? Oh, you got this.
PUBG.
PUBG. No. Not in the top 10, sir. All right, let's go. He's got 2 strikes. You got 2 strikes. You only get 1 more
I
strike.
got 1 strike. CS:GO.
CS:GO. That is a great answer that's not on here. So now you got 2 strikes. You're right. So now, let's go, Javier.
Hello Kitty's Island.
Keep this alive. You only got 4 points. Come on now.
Yeah, but
Is Javier going to win this with 4 points? This will be the lowest score. This will be like the soccer match of Pontification Station right here. With a 4-0 win. This is going to be amazing.
I play single-player games. So screwed.
What you got, Javier?
Apex Legends.
Predictable.
Ooh. So I'm going to give you another shot because it is in the top 18, but not top 10. So you're still alive.
So
Go
top
ahead.
18
What
is
you
in-
got?
It's in 18th place.
No, I just didn't feel like writing 19 and 20 because I would have had to scroll down another page.
Call of Duty Warzone.
I'm not going to kick you off because Call of Duty is on here. It's not Warzone. So each one of you gets 1 more strike. All right, Javier, what you got? This is it. Is he going to keep it alive or is he
Call of
dying?
Duty Cold War.
No.
But I will keep it alive. Call of Duty Vanguard.
No, this is it. It's over. It's over. This was the shortest
So what's
game
Call of Duty?
ever. We got 4-0.
Those are the last 2 games.
That came out!
How recently was this?
Okay, if it's Modern Warfare, that came out 2 years ago.
This is.
And then, and if they're playing Warzone, they're not playing Modern Warfare. They're playing Warzone.
Is Animal Crossing on there? Because Animal Crossing died.
Animal Crossing's number 13. Biogen is good on that one. So
read the
number
room.
one, number 1, Microsoft. I mean Minecraft. Number 2, GTA 5.
That
The
game's
role-playing
garbage.
server?
It's still popular. 3, Fortnite. 4, Super Smash Bros. Unlimited. Ultimate Unlimited. Yeah, I'm changing names. 5, Rocket League.
There
6,
goes every
Red Dead
subscriber, by the way.
Redemption 2.
Who? I
7,
haven't heard anything about Red Dead
Spider-Man.
Redemption 2
Oh,
since
you're
it
gonna love
released.
8 and 9,
Wait,
right?
Spider-Man?
Right?
Which one?
It just says Spider-Man. It's
That's-
straight up.
Let me see that list. I want to see the date this is published. I want to see the date.
Wait, you're gonna love 8 and 9. 8 and 9 are just gonna drive you nuts here. 8 is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And 9 is Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Didn't Black Ops 3 come out in like 2018?
Well, number 9 is Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Which came out in 2012.
What?
No, 2012.
And number 10 is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Siege 6. What's funny is number 14 is Call of Duty Black Ops 3 again, but it's the older version.
Did you just say Rainbow Siege 6?
Yes,
Yes,
I was going
yes,
to
I
point
did.
it out.
Yes, I did. I did.
Okay?
But he did, yeah.
I sieged while I was saying it.
Smash Bros. Unlimited. Siege 6.
My brain, my tank gets toggled, my birds come out backwards.
No,
Nonetheless,
let me see when that list is published.
wait a minute. So Biogen, oh man, had Biogen gotten into the top 13, in the top 10, he would have won.
Biogen won.
Yeah, Biogen.
Neck 2, baby.
Biogen ends up winning from the stream. All right. So after these commercials. Okay, thank you for listening to the commercials. That was great. Back to
This podcast brought to you by no one.
Brought to you by Techni. Actually, these beautiful Techni chairs. Right now, and I don't know when you're listening to this, but if you're listening to the podcast, you better go check them out quick because Techni Sport USA, the chairs are on sale. Really, really good sale. And if you use For the Kids, the number 4, For the Kids, as your discount code, you'll get an additional 10% off. You can actually get a really, really cool gaming chair for as low as $179. What's behind that window, Steven? A chair. Thank you for $179.
If it's a window,
Sorry, we were looking at the chat. That's why I was like,
If it's a window, then you don't have to tell him what's behind the window. It's stained glass.
Exactly.
Is stained glass technically a window?
So let's talk about some of the games. Back to the show in progress here. Let's talk about the Game Awards. I don't care about the winners anymore. Let's talk about some of the videos that we saw.
oh, yeah.
Like Star Wars Eclipse. I know you have mixed feelings. All right, Steven's got mixed feelings about Star Wars Eclipse. He walked in through our door. He was ready to let us know what his thoughts were on Star Wars Eclipse, and I said, hold that till the stream. I want to get the live reaction.
That's a massive thumbs.
my thumbs are like, anyway.
Man.
Yeah, it's a hitchhiker's thumb. Anyway, so go ahead. Tell us what your thoughts are about this, because I saw that there was confusion in your brain.
Oh, but
There
that's
is
just
no
my
confusion.
No, there is. There's just perpetual confusion.
So tell us about this. What's your issue with this?
So I am a huge fan of Star Wars. It's been nothing but I've consumed since I came out of the womb. Big on Star Wars. And like when Disney bought Star Wars, I saw the good, the bad and the good. A lot of the good is now they have infinite money. Great.
Yeah.
Production is going to be awesome. Oh crap, it's Disney, now it's going to be PG going forward. But when they finally broke the contract or whatever deal they had with EA, man, that's the greatest thing that ever have happened. Because EA, they can make good games. They just consistently don't. So now that's open to different developers. I know Ubisoft is making one. The same people that made some of the Assassin's Creed games. Well, a lot of the popular Assassin's Creed games, like I think Odyssey, same exact team is making an open world Star Wars game. Awesome. Don't mess it up, Ubisoft. And I saw the trailer for this one. I'm like, oh crap, it's Dune. Awesome. You know, in a good way. It gave me a lot of modern Dune vibes. My concern is the developer, which is Quantic Dream. Quantic Dream is known for making Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. Recently they did the Detroit Become Human. I like them when they made Fahrenheit. It's also called crap, I forgot the North American name.
That is a long name.
Indigo Prophecy.
Crap, I forgot the North American name.
The North American name is Indigo Prophecy. And that was like the big mainstream push. Like, hey guys, here's like a really cool narrative game, you know, choices and consequences based on your decisions and all that. The problem with Quantic Dream is the writing sucks consistently. And it's because of David Cage, who's the director. He does most of the writing, and his writing, in my opinion, and this is all we're back to subjective.
Subjective.
Exactly. I don't like his
you
I don't
guys
like his
can
writing.
learn things by listening about subjective and objective.
See,
So subjectively, Not
I
your
do
favorite
not- I
writing.
hate his
At
writing.
at what point does subjective become objective? Because
When consensus agrees, I guess.
so many,
I mean,
I've heard
that's
so
a
many
good
people
point.
have
When the consensus agrees,
problems
it
with
can become objective.
Heavy Rain writing.
Well, I
the
mean,
Detroit.
Beyond Two Souls is my favorite example. You had like a star-studded cast. I mean, Willem Dafoe. You had Ellen Page.
Yeah.
Defoe, did they do a? Oh no, sorry, never mind. That's an old hip hop song. Just
Wu-Tang?
continue. just continue.
But
Don't worry-
anyway,
don't worry
like
about
even
me.
with the star-studded cast, like you still can't say that from bad writing and even bad direction most of the time. Like I actually liked Heavy Rain. The themes are great and all that, but
Yeah.
the writing was incredibly. By writing, I also mean dialogue. The dialogue was crap, absolute crap. Very uncanny valley. Like no one would actually have this conversation. Doesn't make sense, and that's what I'm worried about with this game.
We have those conversations all the time. The
Oh,
ones
exactly.
that don't
And
make sense.
I'm in perpetual hell because of it.
See, but they all feel human. That's the difference.
Yeah, exactly. I know you actually exist. It's not uncanny valley at all times. But the point I'm making ultimately is like I love Star Wars, and like a narrative Star Wars game is great because that's what Star Wars is about. It's a lot about themes. It's a lot about
It's about the characters.
exactly. It's about just everything. Just everything Star Wars is great in my opinion.
Right.
A lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of flaws, but you get the point. That's where I'm just afraid of. Oh, they are competent developers. They know how to make a game. They know how to make a beautiful game. It's just I hope that the bad habits do not translate to this game. So I'm staying optimistic, but I don't trust the developer.
Okay,
So that's my point.
I can take that. It looked good.
Sorry, David Cage.
What about
Speaking.
Alan Wake?
Oh, I am so excited for Alan Wake.
That developer.
I need to finish the first one. I'm so close to finishing it, but oh my goodness, I am so looking forward to Alan Wake 2. And the thing, so the first game, they were right. It's an action game.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
it's
action game first horror with horror themes.
it's spooky, admittedly.
Yeah.
Like there's one point where you're running through a lumber yard, and then you go into this broken forest, and you hear this like shadow bear in the distance, and you're like on the edge of your seat the whole time because it's like right past the trees that you can see. Like, I don't think I've ever had such a good experience with atmosphere in another game. Alan Wake, the atmosphere in that game is impeccable.
Well, for me, because correct me if I'm wrong, the developer is Remedy. They created Max Payne, mainly the first two Max Payne games. And if you guys remember Max Payne back in the day, that they knew how to set tone for days, and that's where it translated so well. Because you think, wait, these guys that made like this, hard-boiled detective cop guy kind of action game.
Right.
It's known for its bullet time, shooting action game. They're making a horror game again. For those who aren't watching us and listening to us, I'm doing heavy quotations.
Yeah. You can't hear his finger
my
quotes.
air quotes. So, so like horror game, italic, bold,
We'll
underlined.
just do that from now on.
Yeah. Anyway, crap, I lost my train of thought again. No.
You're talking about tone.
He's gonna have to start taking notes on himself.
And that's where Alan Wake was so cool. And that came out 2008, 2009, back when the 360 was well established. It was cool to see them making another game that's just heavy on tone and atmosphere. Yeah. And that's where I'm excited for Alan Wake 2, especially based on that trailer, which it's just a trailer. It's just meant to hype you, so don't fall too much into it. But at least with the trailer, they're definitely setting a precedence of horror first for this one. Whereas again, as you said, Alan Wake, that was more of an action game before anything.
So, with that, as we continue, Javier said that he's going to have to go back and finish the first one.
Yes.
Hellblade 2. Now, here's the thing. I had never, ever played Hellblade 1. Honestly, I hadn't even heard of it. Okay?
Fascinating game.
Had not even heard of it. If you haven't seen the video for the trailer, it's okay. So the trailer for me is okay, and spoilers. Okay, I'm gonna do a spoiler in 5, 4, 3, 2. It'll be a short one for like 30 seconds, so you can come back quickly. 2, 1. Okay, here's the spoiler. At the end of that trailer, where he says, "Help me save her," I was like, I'm in. Now I want to know. Like, prior to him saying, "Help me save her," I was like, this is cool. Okay, whatever. When he said that, completely changed everything for me, and I went, oh, I gotta go back. I immediately went to, it's on Game Pass, by the way, for Xbox.
The game is so cinematic.
Immediately downloaded the first one and started playing it. It's so good.
No, it's a fascinating game because the
It's
developers,
so
they
good.
actually partnered with professionals in the field of psychosis, because the game
Yeah.
really is just a deep dive into human psyche, and mainly touching things like depression, schizophrenia, even dementia, just all forms of like how fragile the mind is. And it looks like Biogen's gonna. Hellblade is such a good narrative story game, and the combat is also fantastic. Absolutely agree with you, Biogen, and that's where I'm curious to see how number 2 is. Like, are they going to focus more on the narrative that they've established, or are they also going back to
The
professionalism, playing
atmosphere.
more
Listen,
into these
I have
psychoses?
never, ever, and for those of you in the back row, in the cheap seats, I'll say it again, ever have I sat through an intro to a game. And I did. As the intro for Hellblade, the first one, was happening, you're on a canoe, and names are coming up of the producer and the writers and all this, and I sat through the entire intro. I didn't even want to hit. I actually put the controller down because I didn't want to accidentally hit any button where it would skip that, because I was listening, like you said, to the different voices. The different voices are arguing with each other. They're talking. They're like, oh crap, she sees us. You know, it was so good. They set the mood for that game in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was in. I was like, and for those of you who don't know, even remote horror, even remote, like, creepy is not my jam at all. Like, that's just not my thing.
That's my field.
Yeah, that's his field. Not mine at all. Having said that, this was so well done. I had to watch it. I was like, this is so good. But it was just really interesting to me that the trailer for the second game was so good that it made me want to go back and check out the first one. Yep. And I'm in. I'm 100% in. I am definitely enjoying the game. As Bio said, the combat is good.
The narrative.
I'm a weirdo, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm really there for the storyline and to, honestly, to admire the artistry that these people put together. Yeah. So I put the combat on easy because I have no issues. I don't want to fight with it. I just want to go through this journey because they put you on a journey, and I'm enjoying the journey.
And that is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And I'm someone who always cranks the difficulty as hard as possible. I play Souls games. I play roguelikes. I love difficulty.
Yeah.
I will also immediately play something on the easiest difficulty because I just want to play the story.
That's what I'm doing. I am enjoying the storyline.
Play a game as you want.
It's so good. I'm telling you, if you have not checked it out, it's on Game Pass. It's excellent. But I just thought it was really interesting that a trailer for a new game made me want to go back and watch the other one.
And Biogen brings up a great point. Playing through the game literally stressed me out with all the arguing, really spot on, and absolutely, that game knows how to make you uncomfortable by design.
No.
By design.
At the very beginning. First 3 minutes. If you're not uncomfortable in the first 3 minutes,
you're not analyzing it.
You're not listening to it.
Listening,
And by the way, to make it even more interesting for me, another thing that I normally don't do, but I don't remember what was happening. Oh, I know what was happening. Somebody was... I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The short story is, I had the headset on, and listening to that game with the headset on, these voices are in your head.
Absolutely,
they
100%.
in
if you're
your
going to play
head, you got to play with the headset.
The Senua Saga,
headphones or alone in your room with surround sound,
but
something.
Because with the headset on, like I said, like a voice talks to you from the right, and then all of a sudden the one on the left will answer. and then the one on the right's like, shh, be quiet, she sees us. I'm like, what in the world's going on in my head here?
I think my favorite part of the game so far was so when they're doing the combat tutorial, they send enemies at you directly. Like they send you 3 in a row, and then all of a sudden one will appear behind you, but there's no like sound or anything to notify you that an enemy has appeared behind you. And then all of a sudden you'll hear in your right ear just a voice yell behind you, and then if you don't dodge, you're getting hit. Like
yeah, because the voices are there. I mean, it's so good. It's so good.
It's just cool to have this like you feel like you almost have Spidey sense. Like
yeah, so they did a great job
right?
with that. They did a great job with that.
Kind.
And speaking of women lead roles, Wonder Woman.
I felt like most of the games announced had a lot of leading females.
Wonder
in a
Woman.
good way.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Wonder Woman looks cool.
I'm not a DC
You know,
guy, so I didn't look into it.
we'll see how that rolls out, but it was cool enough for me to go, okay, I'll check that out when it comes
That was one of the few
out.
ones that I missed. Like
They didn't give you a whole lot. They didn't give you a whole lot. They basically just said, hey, here's Wonder Woman, she's coming, get ready, you know? So it was just intriguing enough to see that it was coming. Elden Ring.
Don't get me started.
Oh, wait, he said don't get me started, so let's get him started. All right, tell us about Elden Ring.
What do you want to know?
The fact that you said don't get me started, just what
Tell
are we
him
not
what he
getting you?
needs to
Yeah,
know.
what do we not get you started on?
So, what do you know of Elden Ring at all?
He knows absolutely nothing, I can tell you that.
Elden Ring is basically this ring that the oldest person in the
I gotta stop
in
now.
the town usually gets. That's why it's called the
Take
Elden
care,
Ring.
guys. No, so
You're
Elden
stuck now.
They pass it along to the Elden Child,
Actually,
which
yes.
is the firstborn.
Verbatim. Yeah.
See,
That's the plot.
exactly.
You got it. You're
That's
done.
what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
cancel the game.
And,
we already got the experience.
Usually, I think it was first found by I don't know. I think he calls it the Precious or something like that, or
Which
okay.
actually they did announce a Gollum game.
Did they really?
they
Okay,
did.
so let's
That's
go
gonna
back
be so weird.
before we derail any
don't know.
further. Do tell us
It
about
could be
Elden.
cool. I think it's gonna be like a stealth game, kind of like God, what's that?
There's-
Sticks.
Yeah, Sticks. I was gonna
It's
say like
like-
Sticks.
It looks like Sticks.
It's like
But anyway.
solid metal gear.
Solid. What is it?
First of all, I would
So,
not
you know,
call
my
Sticks
words
metal
are
either.
all coming out backwards today.
I would not call Sticks metal in any way. But
All right, wooden sticks. Anyway, so tell us about Elden Ring now that I totally botched it.
Elden Ring is being created by From Software, who are known for the Dark Souls series, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Kingsfield, Shadow Tower. They made a lot of. They've been making this for a very long time, and of course, as as I just said with Dark Souls, that's a household name at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone knows about Dark Souls, and this is the next game, and not in the series. It's its own separate thing. Fortunately, and
Yeah.
that's one thing I love about From Software. They don't like to make sequels. They really do like to make new ideas every time they can. The reason why there's Dark Souls 2 and 3, that's a Bandai decision. But anyway, consistency is From Software. They consistently try to push further every time they release a new game, whether it's introducing new ideas, trying to play with the engine more. Just they consistently bring groundbreaking games that just kind of define the genre. I mean, you can't look at any article without someone saying solid metal tactile ESPN gear. I love it. Damn you, Biogen.
Listen, some of you are missing some great comments. Again, if you catch us live, there's some good stuff on here. The comments are just beautiful.
But anyway, Elden Ring is just that next, jump into like they were just bringing something cool again. And it looks like this is going to be like a magnum opus so far. Like they're bringing every awesome mechanic that they've created in their previous games, even mechanics that they were introduced in Dark Souls 2, which is like one of my personal favorite Dark Souls game, but it's the black sheep of the series because it's a little weird. But they're bringing really cool mechanics, and it's being co-written by George R.R. Martin of Game of Thrones, or Song of Ice and Fire fame.
So are you saying everybody dies in a wedding at the end of
Probably.
at
Oh, no,
the end of the game?
there's a lot of death in the From Software games, but it's bringing on really cool Norse mythologies. There's a lot of great Lord of the Rings, like Middle Earth references. There's great Studio Ghibli references. Like Hidetaka Miyazaki is the creator of the entire series, and he pulls from like the greatest sources of inspirations. But like he still twists it in his perspective. It's
Yeah.
not like a straight up like haha homage or haha straight copy because people like this thing. No, it's he brings his inspirations and he knows how to craft them into himself
Yeah.
and like able to project it into his games. But it looks like a phenomenal story. Graphically, it looks ridiculous. The environments are like, again, design over everything. Design
And
beats everything.
I think the
Stuff
best
like that.
the best part of
I'm
him
ranting.
taking from everything, as you were saying, more than just projects it in his own way, he twists all of it in order to fit his world.
Because his design philosophy is so unique. Because he's like one of those great examples of like the lowly janitor becoming the CEO, like through perseverance and like actual desire and love for the art of everything. Because starting off, like he was a very mediocre person. Like he himself called himself mediocre. He was okay with just making $30K and just living in a tiny apartment. He was content with mediocrity. Until one day, I think in college, a friend of his brought ICO from PlayStation 2, creators
Oh,
of
that was
Shadow.
such a good game.
Yeah.
I remember that game.
That game is I mean, Shadow of the
Yeah.
Colossus and Chad and everyone, that's my favorite game of all time, period. Number one will always be Shadow of the Colossus. Because
Eco was good, and what was the other? Cloud, that was a Cloud one. I can't remember what
Dark Cloud?
Was it Dark Cloud?
That was PlayStation. Yeah, that was basically Sony's little
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda clone. Yeah, the game was cool too, but
That was cool too, but Eco, man, I
yeah,
remember
no,
Eco. That
Eco
was
inspired
huge.
so
Yeah.
many games. It inspired
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 3. It inspired Guillermo del Toro, who created Pan's Labyrinth, Pacific Rim, Hellboy series. But Eco inspired a lot of people and inspired Hidetaka Miyazaki. After he played Eco, he's like, I don't know what I got to do, but I need to get involved in video games because this is art and I want to create this kind of art too.
Yeah.
And he just started applying everywhere. Eventually, he ran into From Software, and they're like, he just like quickly learned how to code, and they're like, all right, you just make random stuff. So he started off as like entry level coder,
Mhm.
and, and he was happy with that. He was like, cool. And From Software at the time, they were a dying company. They were like, that Final Fantasy
Right.
legend,
Yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna make that one last game before we go bankrupt, and it turns out to be the savior. That's exactly what happened. They were like, hey guys, we don't care, just do whatever you want. And he's like, hey, we're canceling this project. Can I work on this? Everyone's like, who cares? We're going out of business. He creates Demon Souls, and it failed. It did not sell.
Yeah.
No one bought it because it's like, here's just this weird game from a weird company that no one ever heard of, and it failed. But word of mouth started spreading. Hey guys, you see this really cool hard game? It's so interesting. It's so because this is at the time where all you saw was
Right.
Battlefield, Call of Duty. That was it. Monotonous games.
Yeah.
And that blew up into Dark Souls, Bloodborne. You get the idea. But his design philosophy is, growing up, he would always go to a library and he would read books. He was obsessed with Western fantasy, like European castles and knights and armors and dragons. He was obsessed with European fantasy, especially like Tolkien stuff. His English was not the best, so what he could not understand, he filled in his own gaps. He used the context of what he's understanding from what he was reading, and he filled in the blanks from there. And he adds that same philosophy to his games. So when you're exploring these games, how often do you play a game and the game's like holding your hand? You gotta go this way, honey. The treasure's over here. Oh, pay attention to this cutscene. Put the controller down because they gotta watch the 30-minute cutscene. That does not exist in the Souls games. There's no hand holding. If you want to know the story, it's out there. You just gotta discover it for yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you
you're
have to
excited
read
about
it
this game.
from-
Is what you're telling me.
Absolutely.
And with that, before we close up, because we're getting to the end.
Closing
of this,
up? I don't think so. We got 30 more games to
We're
talk
gonna have
about.
to. We're gonna have to go do this again next Tuesday. I mean, this coming Tuesday. But we're coming up on the end here. But before we go, I do want to ask the Halo series. What are your thoughts about this Halo series coming out?
Campaign or
now-
multiplayer?
No, the
No,
live
no,
action.
the live action. So
Oh, I forgot
to
about that.
backtrack for those of you who are joining us now, you missed the beginning of this. Go check it out in the podcast. But we talked a little bit about my massive disappointment with Cowboy Bebop live action, especially after seeing the Kenshin Himura live action that Netflix did. That was so good. That was excellent. And then I had these high hopes, and then they crushed them with Cowboy Bebop live action. So what are we going to get with Halo? Are we going to get a good live action, or are we going to get some kind of destruction here?
For me, what would make a great live action is not having someone like Master Chief the main character. Or any Spartan 2 for that matter, and I emphasize Spartan 2, chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they go based off of the books, if they go based off the world building of Halo, I think they could make a really cool series. Explore like the same way that like Mandalorian works.
Yeah.
You know, he's not technically the main character. Little Grogu is the main character. All the events that happen is based off this little character that really has no input whatsoever. If they could do something similar that is really just exploring the world, and it just happens to be this little character that's exploring this world, perfect. Then, in my opinion. So like focus on an ODST squad.
Oh, focusing on ODST squad, that would be absolutely
That would be
sick.
phenomenal. And then like you can see their perspective in ODST, who is like granted they're semi-super soldiers, they're really just they're Navy SEALs. They're regular people that are just really good at their job. They're not superhuman. They're not cybernetically enhanced. They're awesome at what they do, but they're still human. You yourself as a viewer, you're able to project yourself onto these characters. That's where you can get immersion, and it's great to see yourself as Master Chief. It's great to see yourself as Doomslayer, the immortal god that's just punching everything. You know,
but it doesn't make for a great story unless there's other. So one thing I have to say is that while they're not going to do it, at least not yet, a serialization of like ODST.
Oh, that I would eat that all day.
Would be so incredibly amazing.
For me, what made the books work too, and again that they have so much to work off.
Stephen reads.
I don't. It's the picture books I
It's
look
the picture books.
But like what made the books work was especially the first book, which in my opinion is the best book. It's in the perspective of Captain Keyes, mostly.
Yeah.
And a lot of what's being discussed is like their first encounter with like the Covenant, and like it's just military tactics. The first couple books is really just military boring.
Right.
Yeah, it's like as if Tom Clancy wrote it, and for me that's what made it so fascinating.
Siege 6.
Exactly. You're reading Siege 6. Exactly. But because it's in a military perspective and not like only Master Chief, they're establishing the world. They're
Right.
actually talking about their technology. They're talking about what they're actually facing against, and because it's not the perspective of Master Chief, everything's a threat. Like their first encounter with the Covenant, they all died. They just didn't know what to do. But if Master Chief was the main character, like I'll find a way. And like, you know, you just always go.
How was that?
I'll find a way. And I can't do Master Chief's
I
voice.
like that. That's pretty good.
But
That first one was actually spot on.
But
Yeah,
you get
that
the
was pretty
idea.
good.
Thank you. You get the idea, though.
Yeah.
I mean, though, if you ever play the campaign for Halo Infinite, literally he's just going, "I'll improvise," and he does his thing. But that's Master Chief's character. He's known for his luck, and that's why he's like, "Yeah, I'll find a way," because he knows luck is always on his side.
Yeah.
He was known as the lucky Spartan. He's not the best
Javier,
Spartan.
you got anything you want to say before we take off?
Sam is the best Spartan.
How much time do we have?
Quickly, go.
I got nothing to
All
say.
the time in the world.
We'll have to do it next.
What'd you got?
I was gonna talk about the top content creator of the year,
Why?
but that is there is so much to unpack with that.
That's a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That's a rabbit hole. Maybe we'll talk about. Maybe that's. A good
I mean,
thing.
honestly,
No,
there's
it won't be topical after that. That's how.
yeah.
That's
but-
okay.
No, there's a lot of stuff that we might actually have enough content from the Game Awards to do another week.
Because we can honestly we can go we can segue into just speedrunning in general with that.
Yeah, because like we haven't done. I don't think we've even done half of what was announced.
Oh no, there was 30 awards.
Yeah, there are a
were
bunch
given
in there.
out,
We're
and
just.
then there
I was
like
just
10
jumping on
games
the
that were
on the
announced.
like the immediate stuff, the big stuff that jumped out. Just want to make sure we cover some of that stuff, and we're gonna do more. We're excited. We're confused. We're pontificating.
Kind of.
This is us talking to you. Making a difference.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. So that was the bye to the podcast. Now
Yeah.
we can close up and do whatever. This is like leftovers.
Yeah.
I like that. Leftovers.
Yeah. This is leftovers.
Did he trademark that or no?
No, he did not.
Oh, then we can use it.
Definitely use it. There is a, and I really like what he does. What he does is a YouTuber who like once a month he grabs everything that he cut off all his other videos.
Oh.
And he just throws it on like one video. It's like a bunch of like
Bloopers compilation. kind of
no,
thing.
it's not even bloopers. It's like 5-10 minute reels, like
Just
back to back, like
the
like,
random stuff.
Yeah, so like before we start the podcast, we get on here and we start talking.
Biogen's on it. Hellblade VR with a VR treadmill.
Oh,
That'd be so cool.
How to run
that'd be
away from your mental
How
disorder.
to adopt a mental disorder. So
Schizophrenia simulator.
I'm telling you, man, that first game got me, and it's
That
and like I
first
said,
game's-
it is not my my jam
It's
usually,
so
but it was so
Like
good.
I literally just
It's so
killed
tasteful.
Cert.
so
I'm
did
not
start
super
it,
far
right?
into it.
Spoiler.
Well, we're talking about the first one, which was what
Yeah.
when?
2016.
Yeah. So
we're way.
Yeah.
And this is the leftovers anyway. So if
Yeah.
they listen to this,
No, not 2016. It's
Yeah,
2017,
this is
2017.
leftovers. So they're listening to
that's
stuff
still
that's not on the podcast.
Almost 4 years. We're good for
I
now.
know. I'm just being an internet dude.
But
But are we gonna talk about the content creator? Cause, like, if we are, I don't want to do it. But like, it's a terrible.
what do you got?
system.
What do you got?
So Dream, the content creator,
Mhm.
there was a lot of. He won content creator of the year, literally only because his fans are so diehard, more diehard than the K-pop.
What's the
fans.
new word that came out? New Eminem reference? Stans? They're all
Stands, yeah.
Simps.
Uh,
Dream Simps. In fact, I think that is its own subreddit. Is Dream Simp.
Yeah, they call them Dream Sims. But so there was a lot that came out about him potentially faking a speed run.
No, I think that was pretty much confirmed that he did.
So basically what was confirmed was the fact that the odds were insane. They didn't confirm, I don't think. I could be wrong.
It was my understanding, at least. I'm not saying I'm actually correct. To my understanding, he actually did publicly say, "Oh, my bad."
I remember there being a quote unquote statement, but I thought it was basically him being like, "Oh yeah, no, I didn't cheat." He could have been, because I think I remember hearing something about a software that he used for like his other videos, and he left it on or something. But
How coincidental.
yeah, right.
Yep.
But I think it was the fact that there was what they said, the people who were investigating it, is that the odds were so insane of him getting what he did that it was quote unquote impossible. Which
Right.
I mean, it's not impossible
It's-
because the odds are there.
But it's like
Right.
the most RNG of RNG of RNG of RNG stuff.
So like, it could have potentially happened. But again, so yeah, there was that whole thing. He has put out a few, like he has one series like where people basically just hunt him down, and it seems pretty what's the word, scripted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it seems pretty scripted. Like a lot of the stuff, it's just not stuff that you would. He makes himself out to be this aficionado of everything
Well, because
between Minecraft movement and this absolute genius. And in any normal circumstance, it doesn't seem plausible. So a lot of it seems very scripted. I'm sure that some of it isn't.
according to Game Awards, and the flavor text for Content Creator of the Year is for a streamer or content creator who has made an important and positive impact on the community in 2021. And that's where I'm like, but what did he really do that was positive?
I don't remember Dream.
He made a music video that was kind of considered cringy. It's about mental health, you know?
Well, yeah. So maybe that's what it was.
Maybe, but again, I thought everyone kind of agreed like this was in poor taste.
Yeah, because it just seems very disingenuous.
Yeah. But it's honestly not my.
There are so
not
many
my only
other content creators that
that I could think of that have made an impact that,
that
are
have-
actually good.
have made genuine.
I mean, Mr. Beast.
Yeah, Mr. Beast.
And he may have ulterior motives, I don't know, but like at least he consistently, at least his whole point is doing good.
Mr. Beast
Just gave away a Lamborghini.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the weirdest thing. So I don't know if you saw that whole thing.
No, for me, it's a tree thing.
See,
Like,
I
that's
don't know
one
if you
example.
saw that. So the whole thing was, you give him $30, and he was going to send you a Lamborghini for $30. So
People of Lamborghini.
either you were going to get a Hot Wheels Lamborghini,
Mm-hmm.
You
or
were gonna get an actual.
or no, they were like a bunch of Hot Wheels. They were like 10 radio control Lamborghinis. I think there were like 2 of the big, kid Lamborghini cars,
That's hysterical. And then one. Actual
and then one
Lamborghini.
actual full size Lamborghini. But it was funny because like you didn't know, like you just said $30,
And you
he
gotta pay for the insurance.
and you were
right.
and the taxes
yeah,
for it.
exactly, and maintenance.
But anyway, but I thought it was pretty funny. Like, get $30, you get a Lamborghini. One way or another, you get a Lamborghini.
Mr. Beast is so weird to me because, like, on one hand, Mr. Beast seems like this very genuine guy as far as like he seems like he actually cares about building the communities.
Optimistically, we want him to like.
Yeah. But on the other hand,
That's right. Solid metal tactical
feels
ESPN gear.
so like
Colonel.
2012 YouTube, to where he's so artificially
Enhanced.
chipper. One would
Well,
say.
I mean, all that money, that would be chipper too.
Yeah, but it just seems it seems like
Uncanny.
a facade of like.
And again, that's what I mean by
Excitement and everything,
That's what I
yeah.
mean by optimistically. Like, I hope the intention is there. Then it is
And
great.
Right.
I don't think that he is malicious in anything. It just feels very fake.
No, and for me, because I looked at all the names and like I'm not big on the latest streamers, even content creators, whatever.
Yeah.
But like looking into some of those, I didn't even the runner up. I didn't think like, is this really a runner up for this? Again, like the emphasis being on positive impact and
Yeah.
great community. None of those people
Right.
on there I fit the bill for me. There's so many other people too, and I think it comes down to, hey, they happen to have the most subscribers.